guys, it's Kelly from Cards by Christine here with you on a Technique Thursday to share with you some techniques with black and white paper. And this time during the catalog, what we have is our True Love DSP. And this is the card that I'm going to make, but I'm going to show you a couple of different techniques that you can use. So stick around for the end. But this DSP is all black and white. Every single sheet of it, and you can see a whole bunch of different samples here, but every single sheet of it is just basic black and basic white. So it was kind of intimidating to me at first. I didn't think I wanted it, and then I started seeing all these great samples and ideas with it, and it is definitely on my wish list now. And this first technique with the card that I'm going to share with you is actually kind of like inverse coloring. You see the flowers and you think, why don't I color them? But this one is coloring the background. And what I did on this one was I took the blending Stampin' Blends, and I'm using Rococo Rose. Now, if you're loyal to Chris, you know that the in colors retire when the catalog retires. So that's coming up soon. So if you love this color or any of the other beautiful colors that are going to retire in the middle of May 3rd. Or before. See, now this is what we want you to know. These are while supplies last. So this beautiful color, it's called Rococo Rose, and I've got a couple of the products here, is going away, and once the consumables start to get purchased, because people love them, and it's a beautiful color. So once they start to get purchased, they're gone for good. So if you love this color, which I do, get it. I suggest you do. But I took the blends and I colored in the background to make it the flowers just black and white, and the background is in this beautiful Rococo Rose color. So what do you think of that? I think it's beautiful, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do right now. Now, to save you some time, I colored the majority of it because I don't want you to have to sit here while I'm coloring. But essentially, I'm going to try something a little different on this sample. I'm not going to halo with the dark blend. I'm just going to use the light blend and see what I think of that. So this one is the light of the two blends. And if you see on the card that's under me, the completed card, I did take the dark blend after I was done with the light. And I just outlined the flowers and the leaves just to give it a little bit more contrast. I do like how that looked, but I wanted to see how it looked differently if I just used the light color. And when you're using blends, you want to be really careful with the tip. Slow and steady wins the race on this. Go nice and slow so that the ink kind of gets an opportunity to seep into the paper. You'll get your nicest color if you're not, coloring like my kids would with their Crayola markers. You'll get really streaky colors, and I might still have some streaks that I'll go back in and blend, but the slower you go, the less rework you have to do. And that is why I colored most of it before creating the video, because I didn't want to bore you guys with all of those details. But essentially, oopsies, you get it fully colored, and this is the focal point of my card. You will notice the color doesn't match perfectly, and that is just for Rococo Rose. Not every color blend has such a contrast, and it is something that Stampin' Up knows about, and it's still beautiful. I think it's definitely very close, but you may notice that it is not quite exactly the right color, but I like it anyways. So I took the in color ribbon and I cut it in half and put it on both sides to kind of just give it a little texture and scallopy finish on the edge. Then I took some of the True Love DSP, and I'm just using little strips here to hang out the sides to give it a little bit more of that black and white and monochromatic feel to the card. Then I took basic white, stamped thank you. Now this is from Dragonfly Garden, sorry. And it actually says thank you for your kindness, but I masked off the for your kindness. I just wanted the thank you. I really liked how scripty it was. In my mind, it kind of matched the pen strokes in the illustrations of the flowers. So I put that in Rococo Rose on the basic white, and I just used my paper scissor and snipped the ends, and I actually snipped them in opposite directions on the basic white and the basic gray. And I used some white baker's twine, made a double bow with that hanging off the edge, and put some pearls on it. So that is the finished card. Now, this is just one thing that you can do with this beautiful paper. I've got a couple other samples to show you. It's black and white, so it makes beautiful black and white cards. And this was made by, we've got Sandy Carlson, who is one of Chris's Stampin' friends, made this beautiful card. I love how it's just black and white. It's so contrasty, and I think it is beautiful without any color. So that's another thing that you can do with this paper. Diane Bogenhagen, who is on, that's upside down, who is on the wonderful Be Happy Stampers team, used a piece down here, and this she colored in with the blending brushes, and I love how that looks. Then, of course, I use the blends here, but I use the blends on the background. Another thing you can do is just color in with the blends. You've got leaves and flowers and all sorts of different, just geometric patterns that you could color with blends or blending brushes. And then, last but not least, you could take a piece like this or any of the patterns, and you could use blending brushes. And I did do a Technique Thursday video last week with blending brushes, and you'll want to tune in next week for another fun technique with blending brushes. But that's another great technique that you can use with this black and white paper. So lots of options. That's why I started to learn to love it, because it's so diverse. You've got some floral patterns, you've got some geometric patterns, and you can do so many different things with it. So I hope you like not only the sample card, but all the inspiration. Tell me, what do you think of this paper? Do you love it? Chris and I love to hear what you guys think, whether...
We should have them show what they've made with it, too.
Yeah. Have you used it? Do you own it? If you've made something, comment a picture of your cards so you can share it with everyone. But yeah, just we love your feedback because we want to know what you think and what you like, and that's that. But I do want to point out here, this is a current host code for the day that I'm making this video. If you are interested in purchasing, this DSP or any supplies, definitely go to the website, cardsbychrisb.com. You'll find the current host code there. We appreciate your support. It helps kind of fuel our passion, and we hope you have a great Thursday. The weekend is in sight, and we will see you soon.